Hi everyone, my name is Matt and today I want to talk about winter gear which is needed for the winter backpacking for the people who just only thinking about their first winter trip. I've been there like many years ago and I didn't know any info what you're gonna need in this winter weather while you're backpacking. First of all, you're gonna need a backpack. That's the key point. And you need to start with the backpack because usually people take in too much stuff, too much gear, too much clothes for their first trips. Really often it doesn't fit inside the backpack, so you should start with the backpack and then try to put everything into this bag. And if it's not enough space, then obviously you doesn't need something from this list of the gear and stuff. So yeah, in my case it's a Gregory Optic 48 liters I guess, but your first backpack don't need to be that fancy. You can take any backpack which is good enough for you with the size and try to go to backpack, because my very first backpack I bought it in second hand for like $3 and I used it for 3 or 4 years and it was like horrible, but still works. So you doesn't need any like super expensive backpack just to start your winter camping or hiking. Yeah. Next thing is, which is really necessary, is your tent. In my case, actually it's not a Hanna tent. In my case it's Marma Tungsten 3-person, but I just using the bag from the other tent because it's more useful for me, in my opinion. Why I'm using 3-person backpack tent? Because usually I'm going with my 2 other friends and we just separate this as 3 parts and everyone carries some of them, and it works perfectly for us. So that's why I'm using this big tent. But yes, I have plans to buy something like 1-person or 2-person, something smaller, lighter, and maybe soon I will show you what I will have. Yeah, this one item I think is the most necessary in winter trips, because you can't underestimate this sleeping pad at the winter time. It's really super important to have really warm sleeping pad. You can use these sleeping mattresses like Thermarest Z-Line, or I don't remember the name, but it's too light for winter. Trust me, you need to invest in some really warm sleeping pad, and it's the key point for a good sleeping and at the winter camping, because even if we will have really good quilt or sleeping bag, it doesn't help you without really good sleeping pad. So in my case it's Thermarest Neo Air, white size I guess. I really like it. It's not perfect, but it's super light, super small, and super duper mega warm. That's why I'm choosing this one. Yeah, I can recommend it. It's really quite it's quite good. Another thing which is really important in winter backpacking is a sleeping bag. I think the best sleeping bags are made with down insulation because it's lighter and warmer. So in my case I'm using Exped Comfort -10. It's down insulated. And why it's called comfort? Because it's not that like narrow like all the mommy style sleeping bags, which gives you more comfort and ability to be yourself even if you're a stomach sleeper or side sleeper. Next thing, I guess it's not that valuable as the sleeping pad, but still it's, you know, it's not 100% important to have it, but it will give you way more comfort at the winter trip if you will have these gaiters, because sometimes you have a lot of snow around you and it's really handful to have these gaiters to protect yourself from the wet feet and like cold feet. So if you have a chance to buy this, I highly recommend to have it at your first backpacking trip, especially if the weather is snowy. Next thing, I guess you need something to cook your food in, and in my case it's Toaks Titanium. Why I like this bowl? It's not a bowl, but whatever. Because it's made of titanium, it's super strong and ultralight. It's just amazing, and you also can put your stove inside, and it works good. And also your gas container is also can be there. Not both of them at the time, but something of them can be there. So yeah, you need something to boil your water for the food, for the tea, or you can even cook something in it. It's still possible, but in my case it will be like tiny portion of the food. You definitely need a food in your backpacking trips, so you can use some dehydrated food or like ready to eat meals. I usually prefer these ones because they are way more tastier than this. This one is, by the way, the Ukrainian manufacturer. It's good, but not as good as this one, but it's still good because it's Ukrainian. Yeah, I like this food because you don't need to care about like preparing something, but if you have a chance and you're not like super duper ultralight hiker as myself, it's really good to cook something tasty like the meat or like fish or like some, I don't know, pasta, potatoes, like cheese bacon, something like this when you hiking, because it gives you like more romantic atmosphere. Not romantic, but you know, like outdoor aesthetic to your trip. So yeah, I usually am combining this like ready to eat meals or dehydrated meals with something like real food which I can cook on my own. Wow. The other really important thing in backpacking hiking trips is wind chill raincoat. I don't know how to call it. It's not necessary to have it Gore-Tex. It can be any technology, but it needs to be hard shell, something hard shell. And you maybe can ask me, why the hell you need like raincoat at the winter trip? Well, because in some cases it's raining at the winter, and I've been there and it's horrible in this case. And also because you don't usually wear your down jacket while you hiking up on a hill, because it's too hot for you. So usually you just wear some like merino wool or fleece, and above it some hard shell jacket which is not warm but protect you from the wind and rain and snow, but still can like take through himself some moisture. And also it's really good if you have these zippers under your armpits, and it helps to regulate like your temperature. So yeah, I never go to the winter trips without rain jacket. In my case, it's Arc'teryx Alpha SV, but I didn't buy it new. I bought it some second hand at the internet. Few last things is, I guess you need some spoon, some mug, and in some cases you need plate, but not all the time, because if you're using, like if you are eating your dehydrated meals, that like the spoon and the mug is just enough, because you even don't need a plate. But my suggestion about the spoon, let it be like with a long handle. It's way easier to use it while you're eating dehydrated food. Water. You definitely need some bottle for the water, because you can't go without water. In my case, it's Life Straw filter bottle. You can just put your water inside and like drink through this pipe, and it will be filtered. Very good, very tasty. But it's not the most useful bottle. I just like it because it was presented for me by my friend, so I'm using it for a few years already. But if it will broke or something happened, I think I will buy something different from this. But for now, it works good. Few last things for your winter trips. First of all, you definitely need to have some fire starter with you. In my case, it's Ukrainian made fire starter made of paper. I'm using something like this. It's really cool, really fast, really enjoyable to make a fire with this. Because usually if you even don't need a fire for cooking, it's good to have a fire when you're just sitting and hanging out with your friend near the fireplace. At winter it's so cozy, so nice, and that's one of the reasons why I like to go for the winter hiking. I don't know how the situation in different countries, but in Ukraine you can have a fire almost everywhere. Like before the war, now it's impossible. Yeah, but before that we can have campfire at any place, and it's really cool. And also it's absolutely necessary to have a headlamp. In my case, it's some piece of trash because it's not mine. I just borrow it to show it as reference because my new light is on the way to me, and I think I will make another video just about headlamp, my new lamp. Yeah, so you definitely need some light, and in perfect world it will be headlamp because it's way more useful. The last one, thin, and it's absolutely insane. You never seen such a gear before. It's like, it's a Steam Deck, and you definitely need to take it with yourself while you're winter backpacking. And of course, I'm kidding, but yeah, I'm just kidding. I just have it with myself, so I thought it will be a good joke. Yeah, anyway, that's all the things I wanted to show you in this video. I hope it will help someone with their trips. If you have some questions or suggestions, you can write down below in the comments, or if you want to say something bad about Russia, feel free to yourself and comment anything bad about Russia under this video. Yeah, thank you for watching.